Coming up, a debate in Frankfort about abortion bills currently making their way through the legislature. The Southern Kentucky woman has a strong warning for people like her that could help you avoid being scammed. And owners with a small business in Letcher County decide to call it quits. We'll hear from them.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning, I'm Connor James. It is finally Friday and the time is 5:30. Let's check in with Brandon Robinson for a look at your snowy forecast this morning. Brandon?
Good morning, Connor, and we're looking at a little bit of everything this morning depending on where you are, so our severe weather alert day coverage continues. Let's take a look at the camera network. We'll kind of blow through these pretty quick, but again, you can see pretty much a little bit of snow falling on all of them there. US 119, US 23 at Jenkins, UVA-wise, some visibility issues as well. Outside WYMT, snow on the grass, so just be careful as you head out the door this morning. Winter weather advisory continues. You see visibility is low in some spots, and we'll see temperatures in the 30s all morning long, and the rest of that forecast will be on the way here in just a few minutes.
Thanks, Brandon. Well, we begin this half hour in Frankfort, where another abortion bill is stirring up controversy. Anti-abortion activists rallied at the state capitol on Thursday in support of bills that would restrict abortion in the state. The Right to Life event draws many to the Capitol, but lawmakers with the Kentucky Legislative Black Caucus and the Women's House Democratic Caucus are upset. They want to stop any talk about lynching, slavery, and the Holocaust being equal to abortions. Representatives with the Right to Life say they're surprised to hear from lawmakers. A bill meant to keep drunk drivers off the road is headed to the House floor. It's backed by the state's bourbon industry and Mothers Against Drunk Driving. The bill would put breathalyzers in cars for first-time DUI offenders.
Because slaves were not considered human beings, and they were treated horribly. They were treated very inhumanely. They were not respected as people, and children in the womb are innocent.
I'm here not to speak about abortion or about reproductive rights, but about the hateful comparisons of a woman's reproductive right to the Holocaust, to lynchings, and to slavery.
State Representative Chris Harris is calling on Governor Bevin to help out the Martin County Water District. On Wednesday, the House adopted House Resolution 108. It's an official request for the governor to declare a state of emergency for the failing water district. Harris said without help, it is unlikely the district can survive, even though they have made progress.
The system is failing. The health, safety, and welfare of the residents of Martin County are at stake here. This is an emergency situation. The system has failed the people of Martin County, and they have no other choice but to look to us for some assistance.
Last year, people in Martin County went weeks without water. They have faced issues this year despite improvements. And First Lady Glenda Bevin, a strong advocate for adoption and foster care in Kentucky, was in London last night with close to 10,000 children without homes in the state. She is calling on local families and communities to help. WYMT's Justin Case has more on how you can get involved and what it really means for the future of these children.
For Uniting Kentucky and their partners, it's not just about calling on local families and communities to foster or adopt.
There's a lot of ways that you can support those families so that they're in this for the long haul and that they don't, leave being foster parents after so many years or months. We really want them to be here for a while, and they can do that if they're supported well.
These are our children, who are the children of Kentucky that are slipping through the cracks.
The message here from First Lady Glenda Bevin and others: everyone can do something, even if you're not the one adopting or fostering.
Small things, but they're big to the families. Maybe it's an extra meal here and there. Maybe it's taking a few of the kids to a sporting event while the other one needs to go to a doctor.
That when they don't attach to people or places, they struggle. They struggle to have healthy relationships. They struggle to stay in school, to hold down a job later in life.
Glenda Bevin says there can be a great deal of trauma in these situations for the children, the families choosing to foster or adopt, and even others involved like social workers.
These children are raised and they're seeing a lot of trauma. They're seeing a lot of movement. There's uncertainty in their lives.
Speakers at the event say it takes a community to come together to make sure these children live healthy and successful lives.
Again, that was Just In Case reporting. Speakers at the event say as many as 30% of homeless people were once in foster care. They say the love and support foster children receive can help them live stable and happy lives. If you would like more information about Uniting Kentucky or their upcoming events, you can head on over to WYMT.com. Heading now to West Virginia, lawmakers there passed a bill that would increase fines for passing a stopped school bus whose warning lights are flashing. The House approved the bill yesterday by a 90-to-1 vote. The bill now goes to the governor's desk. If the bill is signed into law, minimum fines would be doubled to $500 for the first offense and $1,000 for the second offense. And the U.S. House of Representatives has passed a resolution that condemns hate in all its forms. The measure was drafted after several recent comments by Minnesota Congresswoman Ilhan Omar criticizing congressional support of Israel. The resolution was initially focused on condemning anti-Semitism in the light of Omar's remarks, but the wording was expanded to include other forms of bigotry after a backlash from some House members who felt the Muslim Congresswoman was being singled out.
Representative Omar has certainly been subjected herself to fierce, ugly, anti-Muslim attacks. At the same time, I think some are surprised that having been subjected to such attacks, they're disappointed that she's not maybe a little more sensitive to the way some of her own criticisms come out.
Omar voted in support of the resolution. She released a statement saying, quote, "At a time when extremism is on the rise, we must explicitly denounce religious intolerance of all kinds and acknowledge the pain felt by all communities." Well, Transportation Secretary Elaine Chao is talking about a program to test drones. She says the pilot program will include testing drones in areas they're not normally allowed to fly. She says regulating this will be a challenge since the technology is relatively new. And officials from the University of Pikeville and Big Sandy Community and Technical College gathered on Thursday to announce a new partnership. Big Sandy students interested in medical careers can now finish another degree at UPike. Officials say they can transfer and finish 2 years in a biology major at UPike and have an opportunity for early admission into the Kentucky College of Osteopathic Medicine. Both schools are glad to support students and address a shortage in healthcare workers.
The more people that we can bring into the medical school from the region, the better off we are in terms of retaining those physicians long-term in the region.
Students who are already enrolled can now begin to take advantages of this agreement and move forward with their degree program in medicine. One Laurel County woman is hoping you don't make the same mistake she did, losing hundreds of dollars in a scam. Mary Caldwell says she got a call from a man in New York claiming he was from a bank there. He told her she was being awarded a federal grant and even gave her grant identification numbers as well as links to the bank. She says she should have realized it was a scam once they asked for a prepaid gift card information from her before they could send her any money.
Older people like me, you know, that's on fixed income, they need that $200 or that $850 besides giving it to somebody that they don't know.
Banks will never ask you for money up front in the form of a prepaid credit card or gift card before releasing money to you. Please say if you fall victim to one of these scams, you're almost certainly not going to get it back. Well, roughly 50 people came on out for a job fair hosted here in Eastern Kentucky by the Eastern Kentucky Concentrated Employment Program yesterday in Perry County. EKSEP, the Match.com for the workforce, as the workers there call themselves, had employers come in and take applications for about 50 jobs. Some of those employers being General Dynamics and the Sykes Call Center in Perry County. Workers at EKSEP say there are plenty of good-paying jobs in the county.
There are job opportunities here in the region, so if you have somebody out there saying, oh, there's not really any jobs here, there are.
Adams said there are also multiple job fairs next week in Hazard, Paintsville, and Pikeville. Well, we have seen the numbers grow in the recent years. Eastern Kentucky small business owners bowing out to an economy that does not treat them well. This week, a Letcher County store announced they would shut down their doors in April. WYMT's Will Puckett has more on what started as a dream that is now coming to an end.
For the remaining few weeks, you will still hear the beat of the doors opening.
We started about 10 years ago with a dream
to bring name brand products to an area that at one point had the income to support it.
It's been a big part of our life, a big part of the community.
A store that carries brands like the North Face and Patagonia is now littered with these neon orange and yellow sale signs.
You can see it nationwide, there's hundreds of stores that's closing. It's so easy to just get on your phone, point and click, you got free shipping in 2 directions.
March marks 7 years that his decade dream turned into reality.
I love what I've done for the past 10 years, and we'll just see what happens.
And in April, when the doors to Pine Mountain Outfitters close for good.
And we're doing some really good things with tourism in this area, and that's probably going to, out in the future, and it may be just around the corner, that this would lay the groundwork for something like that.
It will leave a lasting legacy on a region.
I want to thank everybody for supporting us. It's tough, it really is.
That supported it as long as it could. In Letcher County, Will Puckett, WYMT, Mountain News.
Bentley says this is a result of coal money leaving the area and the accessibility of online retail around the world. Coming up, does wintertime make you sad? Well, if it does, you're not alone. We'll tell you some signs to watch out to make sure you don't get the winter blues so they don't get you down.
The forecast sure doesn't have any sun in the next couple of days to help with any of that seasonal depression, but I'll have the soggy forecast in about 3 minutes.